Caressed by the wild Atlantic surge, Newfoundland and Labrador is a province whose beauty defies description. St. John's, the capital, may be Canada's oldest city, but a new generation is proving it is much more than just a pretty face and old-world charm.
Newfoundland is all about blending the old and the new. We do still have our traditions, but we're getting just that much more sophisticated here, and it's a good blend of things.
St. John's is just a fun town to live in, generally a lot of the fun stuff happens on 2 to 3 streets. So basically all the fun rolls downtown, essentially. So, all your bands are all down there, most of your interesting restaurants are down there, the fun places to shop are down there. And the best thing about St. John's is, Saturday afternoon, you don't have any plans, you walk out the house, and then you just run into your friends, and then your day begins again,
Way back, historically, most Newfoundlanders didn't have a radio, they didn't have televisions. Television didn't come here till 1955, and families were too poor to have radio, so they made their own music.
Young people take our traditional music, for example, and they bring their own generational influence into it. That's what our generation did. We wanted to take the traditional songs and dance music of Newfoundland and sort of put a rock and roll aspect to it. Now you get groups like the Idlers who are, putting a reggae thing to it. Every generation has that responsibility to make the tradition their own.
The restaurant scene is wonderful in Newfoundland, in St. John's in particular now.
When my parents immigrated here, 30-odd years ago, there wasn't much to eat. You can get a bag of turnips, carrots, and cabbage. But I'd say in the last 15 years, St. John's has become very cosmopolitan.
We are a food city now. We didn't used to be. It's a destination you can come and you can have great food, and a lot of restaurants in St. John's now.
St. John's is a very friendly city. You'll always have a good time, and people will always speak to you on the street.
They say that Newfoundlanders are the only ones in heaven that want to go home, and I think that's true.
This is a beautiful place, really.